There are many ways to represent functions. We can use tables, we can use mappings, we can use graphs, or words, or equations. And sometimes when we look at those representations, we'll see some patterns that help us figure out what kind of function we're looking at. So we're going to look at what's called constant functions. And what I'd like you to do is think about what you're seeing in this table for input values and output values. The constant function has a domain of all real numbers, which means we can put any value we'd like to into the function for the input. But let's pick some simple ones. An input of 2 gives an output of 3. An input of 3 gives an output of 3. An input of 4 gives an output of 3. Think you see the pattern yet? Well, of course you do. The output's always 3, no matter what the input is. And since the domain's all real numbers, we can put some other more interesting numbers in, like negative numbers, or 0, or rational numbers, or irrational numbers. No matter what value we use for the input, the output, which is called the range, is always 3. That's what makes this a constant function. The output, the range, is a constant. So let's look at some of the other representations for this function and see what else we can discover. For the graph, let's go ahead and graph the input-output pairs that we already have and see what we can discover about the pattern in the graph. All those points lie on a horizontal line. And that's absolutely true. For a constant function, the graph will always be a horizontal line that will cross the y-axis at the output value, at the range for the function. And the equation for this function is f of x equals 3. In other words, it's a function with an input of x and an output of 3. So, what have we figured out about constant functions? Well, a constant function will have a constant output. The graph of a constant function is a horizontal line. And the equation of a constant function will always be f of x equals a constant, where that constant is the same as the range, the output, for the function.